Hello and welcome to this episode of Polygraph. I am Neelam Pandey. On Wednesday, we saw that the statement by Congress leader Alka Lamba on the party being prepared on all the 7 seats for the Lok Sabha elections created quite a stir. While Alka Lamba, when she was categorically asked about the Ekla Chalo strategy of the party, she had said no call has been taken as to whether Congress will contest all the 7 seats or whether some will go to the Aam Aadmi Party. However, that statement itself went viral. It created some sort of a misunderstanding with the Aam Aadmi Party. Though on Thursday, we saw that Alka Lamba in a way clarified that she was not at all suggesting that the party was going to contest on all the 7 seats. The Aam Aadmi Party also came forward and said that Alka Lamba was anyway not authorized about it. But the entire episode sort of brought to the fore a bit of unease between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. What would it mean as far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned? Will the alliance, the India alliance, will it remain as far as Congress and Aam Aadmi Party are concerned? Well, these are the questions that we have taken up for analysis. Our political editor DK Singh will be answering all your questions. So let's begin with the first question itself, sir.
Yes,
the Aam Aadmi Party Congress deficit, how do you see it?
The trust deficit, yes. In fact, you look at it, Alka Lamba's initial remark was twisted. In the sense, what we saw, Alka was very clear that, okay, we have been asked to be ready to contest all the 7 seats in Delhi. But when she was asked whether, there is going to be this Ekla Chalo strategy with the Congress in Delhi, she said, no such decision has been taken. Whether we'll be contesting 2 or 5 or 7, that will be decided later. So she was clear, but she was not saying that we won't have an alliance.
Right.
But it was twisted. So the way the AAP reacted, immediately saying that, okay, if you're not if you're not thinking of an alliance, then there is no point attending the next India meeting in Mumbai. And then shortly after that, there was this also announcement from the AAP saying that, okay, we will be having a rally in Chhattisgarh, basically threatening. So that tells you a trust deficit. Because it was like what you call much ado about nothing. Not much had been spoken, but both parties started reacting the way we saw how they did. That's a trust deficit. And there is reason for this. I mean, Aam Aadmi Party has grown feeding on the Congress voters and workers. And it continues like that. So one alliance does not change things. I mean, for one election you have that alliance. But at the end of it, the Aam Aadmi Party's purpose, as we know, is to emerge as the BJP challenger nationally. And that will be at the cost of the Congress. So that trust deficit will remain. When we talk about this alliance, the future of this alliance, well, it will depend on how confident or desperate the Congress is. See, Congress has not taken any final call. That was one giveaway from Alka Lamba's statement, that Rahul Gandhi has asked him to be ready to contest even all the 7 seats. That means Congress has not made up its mind yet. How Congress will go ahead will depend on, I would say, on the assembly election results. The next round of assembly elections you have in November, in December you will have results. If Congress fares well, it will be a very confident Congress. And then the party may not be willing to cede any ground to the Aam Aadmi Party, either in Delhi or in Punjab. But if it performs badly, then you never know in desperation what the Congress will do. We saw what happened in one of the episodes. In fact, we had discussed how in Tamil Nadu, till 67, there was a Congress chief minister. And in 71, when you had simultaneous polls for Lok Sabha and assembly election, Indira Gandhi decided to contest only the Lok Sabha election and letting the DMK and supporting the DMK in the assembly election. Congress did not field any candidate. Indira Gandhi's Congress, their half action. And after that, Congress has never been there. So these examples are there for the Congress leadership even today. You cede your ground now and you may lose it forever. But if they're so desperate, if they really think that they can stop the BJP or BJP from coming to power for the 3rd consecutive term, they may do anything. But that will be, like being a political fidain. Because Congress's long-term interest does not lie in this alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party. If you look, what do they gain out of this? So if you look at the election data for 2019, BJP secured over 50% votes in all the 7 seats. Like, in fact, between 55 and 60% votes. So even if the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party come together, if you think about 2019, they don't really pose much of a threat. And the difference between their vote shares, even if you combine their vote shares, the difference remains pretty big, 15%, 20%, 25%, unless there is an anti-Modi wave. That deficit cannot be bridged. It's too much. So it does not work for them in Delhi. And as the Congress leaders have been maintaining, that in Delhi we were the first runner-up on 5 out of 7 seats. And in fact, you look at it, AAP's vote share has been 14%, 15%, 16%. Each of these 5 seats we are talking about. And on the other 2 seats, yes, AAP came second. But then Congress has an advantage. And that tells you that when you have a Lok Sabha election, AAP is not seen as a challenger. But this entire effort to forge an alliance, in fact, is driven more by the Aam Aadmi Party's interest. Congress is going along because it wants to bring together all the anti-BJP parties. But then it's the AAP which wants that alliance more desperate. Not just because they are on the back foot, their cases, their leaders are in jail, but also because AAP is not seen as a national challenger to the BJP. So we saw in Punjab, for instance, in 2014 election, AAP got about 24% votes and won 4 Lok Sabha seats. But that vote share came down to 7-point-some% in 2019. And in the Lok Sabha also they got reduced to 1. Although in the recent Jalandhar by-poll, the Aam Aadmi Party did spring a surprise. AAP went on to win that seat, which was vacated or which was held by the Congress for about 20 years. So yes, AAP may feel vindicated that probably it's, whatever it has done in the government there in Punjab, like free electricity and other measures, they are getting response. But mind you, that by-poll was not going to determine who the next Prime Minister will be. So maybe AAP managed to get that thing done, that, okay, we are giving you free electricity, this, free that, and people responded. But when you have Lok Sabha election for 2024, when people are looking at the next Prime Ministerial candidate, AAP won't have that kind of traction. And that's why it's desperate, because it's holding just 1 seat out of 13 in Punjab. And right now, Congress is holding 7. So that's why I said AAP has more at stake in this alliance. But for the Congress, there is not much. Maybe if the Congress is so desperate that, okay, the BJP, the 13 seats in Punjab matter a lot, and the BJP has to be defeated, and so they decide to join hands with the Aam Aadmi Party, sacrificing its long-term interest. I mean, that's the Congress's choice. Because if the BJP and Shiromani Akali Dal alliance happens, we are talking about this Jalandhar by-poll. If you look at the data of the by-poll, the Aam Aadmi Party candidate got about 3 lakh votes. Congress candidate got about 2.4 lakh votes. There was a difference of 60,000 votes. But if you put together Shiromani Akali Dal, BSP vote and BJP votes together they got almost as many votes as the Aam Aadmi Party got and won. So that threat is always there, that if there is no alliance between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, and there is an alliance between Akali Dal and BJP, it is going to be a very stiff election for both, a stiff contest for both of them, especially when you have the Modi factor working then in the Lok Sabha election. So these compulsions are there, compulsions, long-term interests, short-term interests. How the Congress will react as it is, it does not look like this alliance will go all the way till 2024 election, because there is so much of trust deficit between the two. The Congress leaders in Punjab, Congress leaders in Delhi, they are all opposed to this alliance. In Punjab, in fact, the Aam Aadmi Party government has deployed the Vigilance Bureau against all the opposition leaders. There are cases by the Vigilance Bureau against about a dozen Congress leaders. So the central leadership is very much under pressure from its local leadership not to go ahead with the alliance. But then that India thing has to be there, that call it optical illusion, whatever, despite inherent contradictions, they have decided to stick together for now. but they have made just choice, and crucial things are yet to be decided. When they start discussing seat sharing, then you will see all these differences coming out. And then we'll know whether this alliance is going to survive and for how long.
We'll take some questions from our viewers also. Aditya wants to know that, apart from this trust deficit in Delhi between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, do you think this is just a start? And what has happened here in Delhi, we will see the same in Bengal, Kerala, where Congress TMC will fight separately and Congress left will fight separately.
Look, what happens in Bengal, we don't know, because CPIM has already made it very clear that it's not going to be part of the alliance in West Bengal. So it's about the possibility of the Congress going either with the Trinamool Congress or with the left. And both combinations have been there in the past. So with the Trinamool Congress also, if you recall, in 2009, Congress and Trinamool Congress were together. And they did pretty well. If I recall it right, Trinamool Congress had won about, I think, 19 seats and Congress 6 seats as part of the alliance. And left front tally was brought down to 15 when they were together. But we are talking about 2009.
Right.
There was no BJP. Things have changed in Bengal now. So Mamata Banerjee, although we saw what she did in the last election also in 2019 and 2014, in fact, she rebuffed all attempts from the Congress side to have any alliance. And she did wonderfully well. But she's under pressure now because the BJP, don't forget, BJP might have lost the assembly election, but if you look at the BJP's vote share in Lok Sabha election, it has been pretty consistent. I mean, since its started rising in West Bengal. So in 2014 Lok Sabha election, for instance, BJP got about 17% votes, which went up to about 40%, I think, 40% in 2019 election. And 2019 Lok Sabha election, the difference between the vote shares of the BJP and the Trinamool Congress was just about 3 percentage points. BJP got about 40%, Trinamool Congress got about 43%. Even in the assembly election, what we saw, BJP might not have achieved the desired result, but it still got 38% votes. So BJP is pretty strong there. And Mamata Banerjee she would be looking at that small vote share gap of 3%, and she would be a bit worried that if BJP gets another, BJP gets kind of that momentum in West Bengal again, with Modi at the helm, and he's quite popular there, things may change, and Trinamool Congress will be worried. That's why this alliance is possible. Trinamool Congress may go for it, but Mamata Banerjee is a very hard bargainer. We heard her saying how the Congress should contest where it is strong and it should vacate where the other party is strong. So in West Bengal, for instance, she would like the Congress to contest just 2 seats, which the party won last time. Would Congress agree to that? That's a big question. But as far as alliance is concerned, whether Congress can go with the Trinamool Congress or not, I think that possibility very much remains.
Gagan Saini also wants to know, is there a scenario in which the trust deficit can be genuinely leveled? Current efforts are just akin to forceful swallowing of a bitter pill by both of them.
No, the trust deficit will always be there. As I said, Aam Aadmi Party has to grow at the Congress's cost. And and Congress leadership knows that. In Punjab also, it was the Congress's vote the Aam Aadmi Party got. And Delhi, it's the Congress's votes.
Right.
In Gujarat, when the Aam Aadmi Party tried to get BJP's votes, it did not succeed. So it has to become the BJP's principal challenger. And so sooner than later, you will see the Aam Aadmi Party going after the Congress again. So that trust deficit is going to remain. It's not going away.
And Krishi Das wants to know, so will the Congress bite the bullet and swallow its pride? If yes, what does it mean for the regional parties?
Swallow its pride in terms of an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party?
Yes.
Well, not much, because if you look at this India alliance, it has 26 parties. Now, Congress is already having an alliance with 16 of them, say in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Bihar, Jharkhand. If you look at the Congress's alliance partners, so just about 6-7 parties with which it is not in alliance. So this alliance will matter for the Congress, say in West Bengal, in Uttar Pradesh, if it happens. Now in West Bengal, again, we discussed West Bengal scenario. In Uttar Pradesh, yes, if Akhilesh Yadav, Congress, RLD, and possibly BSP, we don't know yet. Right now, Mayawati says that, she will not go with either. Closer to elections, we will see. But if they come together, that is something Congress will be looking forward to. Otherwise, in other states, this alliance doesn't really mean much. Regional parties will stand to gain. Congress may gain gain temporarily in terms of defeating the BJP on certain seats. But you don't forget, we discussed about it in the past, on 224 seats in the last election, BJP won by over 50% votes. So you may bring down the BJP's tally by a few seats. If that is the intention, if that works for Congress, it's fine. But for the regional parties, regional parties are not seen as the BJP challenger. So they have a kind of a small disadvantage. Having Congress with them helps them, but at the same time, by allying with them, Congress will be ceding its ground to the regional parties, because most of the regional parties have grown at the cost of the Congress.
Prasad as well as Ashwin Sarvate, they both want to know about the same issue. So I'll just ask both of them, club them together. Ashwin says the print has brilliantly covered a point about the BJP's outreach to Pasmanda Muslims. So he's asking whether, based on the MCD and UP local body election, if we could analyze the electoral impact of this strategy and also its potential impact, considering the fact, he says Muslim vote is known to be monolithic. He also wants to know whether, if this new strategy has dented or would potentially impact this vote block. Also, how do you see Modi's recent reach out to the Pasmanda community?
Well, I would say right now it's tokenism. Because if you talk about, say, MCD polls,
yes.
Now BJP fielded 4 Pasmanda candidates and all of them lost.
All of them lost, yes.
If you look at municipal elections in UP, in municipal elections also BJP fielded, I think, 395 candidates. But out of 15,000 candidates and for 15,000 posts, if you're fielding 395 candidates, it's not much. In fact, about 50 or 60 of them won also. But these are very local elections where local issues matter. But when you look at the BJP Pasmanda outreach in the context of the Lok Sabha election, in 2024 at least, I don't really see much happening. Because, in elections, BJP has been getting 5%, 6% Muslim votes. But they are mostly Shias. Shias have been with the BJP, a large section of them. Sunnis are not coming with the BJP. Now this Pasmanda outreach, well, if you heard the Prime Minister's Independence Day speech, he was talking about Tushtikaran or appeasement. And in the same breath, he was talking about Pasmandas also. Like, both of them cannot work together. And if that was the signal that in the next election, in 2024 election, this minority appeasement is going to be one of the major planks of the BJP, this Pasmanda outreach won't really go much further, in fact.
And Shantanu Saha wants to know that, he says Congress has warmed up to Raghav Chanta at Sajjay, saying AAP in Gujarat is crumbling and switching to Congress, with even their Gujarat chiefs siding with Congress. But the Congress attack on Kejriwal in Delhi keeps on. Then he says, do you see Congress sucking everything out of AAP except its nominal head intact for above the surface politics of this alliance?
Well, if you look at the history of the Congress, other parties have sucked things out of Congress. It's never the other way around. We have discussed about AAP-Congress equations. Yes. When you talk about Ishudan Gadvi, he's talking about Ishudan Gadvi's remark.
Yes.
Now, Ishudan Gadvi, if you know, he was earlier willing to go with the Congress. And he was trying to support the Congress. It was only when the Congress did not really offer him what he wanted that he decided to go with the AAP, because he was earlier interested in taking a plunge with the Congress. He had in fact once offered to meet Rahul Gandhi also, but that was long back. So he was inclined to join the Congress. That didn't happen. He went with the Aam Aadmi Party, and now in Aam Aadmi Party, Gadvi, he's a brilliant man. Gadvi, if you talk to him, is politically very sharp, brilliant man. He has some vision for Gujarat. But the fact is, in the Aam Aadmi Party, he does not really see much scope for himself in Gujarat right now. So he is keeping things open. let's look at his statement in this context.
Well, this last question, sir, Aditya wants to know why BRS, that is KCR, he says, so silent nowadays, and he has decided not to join any alliance, whether it is the India alliance or to go with the BJP. And he says that, do you think he has understood that for a regional party to survive, he has to take the approach which BJD or YSRCP they have taken, which is not to join any alliance?
See, these two parties are different reasons. We know how Jagan quit the Congress and took away the Congress voters and workers. And he has been upset with the Congress High Command, with the Gandhis in particular. So that has been his reason. Of course, he's also facing cases. Many cases, central agencies are involved. You know what I mean. So he has different reasons to stick with the BJP. As for Naveen Patnaik, he has always been very friendly with the centre, whichever party is at the centre. So he was very pally with Dr. Manmohan Singh also. He has been very pally with Narendra Modi also, because he knows that he needs the centre's help in carrying out his programs on the ground. So that has been his approach. With KCR, things are different. KCR, first he was feeling the heat from, don't forget, KCR was the one who started floating this idea of a federal front and a non-BJP, non-Congress front. Because Congress remains his principal opposition party. Even if in the last few by-polls, BJP emerged as the principal opposition party, replacing the Congress. But on the ground, Congress is pretty strong. And there are signs of Congress party's revival. As the BJP, especially after Karnataka election, BJP is losing its ground there in Telangana. Congress is emerging stronger. So there is no way that KCR can go with the Congress as part of India Alliance.
Right. Thank you so much for this analysis. We will be back next week with the new episode. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, Neelam.